You're tuned into SEC Sunday Night, part of the Chief Sports Network.
Hit the lights. It's Sunday night. Welcome to SEC Sunday Night Live on the Chief Sports Network. I'm Rob Williams. He's Craig McMichael. And of course, joining us as always is our good friend Casey Cregan. And we are proudly presented by Hewitt Domaduros Law, HD Law, SC.com. Brad and Dean are here for you. Call Amanda and tell her that you heard about it right here on SEC Sunday Night. When you get in trouble, you have a personal injury claim, an insurance claim. You pulled your back trying to coach the kids, and now you're gonna find a way to make that money, tens of millions of dollars, ladies and gentlemen. One for their clients, HDLawSC.com, proudly presenting SEC Sunday Night. Is Craig? Craig, are you watching the lacrosse playoffs during my open?
I heard Quint Kesnick's voice.
Come on. What's going on, boys? How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Rob. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Happy Mother's Day to you.
I was about to get there. Happy Mother's Day to all of the ladies in our lives and all the ladies who are watching and all the ladies in your life who have been mothers, mother figures to you and yours. We celebrate all of you. We know the sacrifices that you have made, and we would not be here today without all of those mothers out there mothering us and mothering our children. All right.
That's a lot of mothering.
We need it.
A lot of mothering. Hey, it's SEC Sunday Night. We got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about. We've got baseball. We had an SEC softball tournament this week. It's Texas football preview night. We've got Amanda Atwell coming up in the second half hour to talk about what's going on there. Casey is frozen. It's a great night. Okay. It's a fantastic night. The fan appears to have stopped.
The fan.
That's how you know I'm frozen.
His face is in a great pose. I have to give it to you, Casey. It looks fantastic. You did not freeze in a compromising facial structure. Okay, so it could be much worse.
Hey, shout out to Amanda at HD. I have my golf vest quarter zip on the way. I made sure to get an extra large. Rob, they were all out of mediums for you. So
disappointing.
It's disappointing.
I'll put a call in to see if they can get another one. I mean, I look great in a medium. I was just on another program here on the Chief Sports Network, the Late Night Gamecock Show, and I did make mention that I don't have the sultry tones of one Casey Cregan to tickle the ears. I don't have a radio voice. I hate the way my voice sounds on air, actually, but I do have a face. I do have a face that's built for it because I look fantastic. So keep dressing me in the mediums, and we'll be doing just fine.
Casey, you are still frozen.
You can't even hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh,
It's
fine, then.
It's
Good.
like an overlay. It's gonna make great content. Okay.
No one needs to see me laughing and smiling and that fan moving.
Let's run through some baseball scores here as we try to figure out if Casey needs to reset or if we're just going to go with an overlay today. All right.
Hang on. We got something here. What's above my finger? Oh, wait. Is that the number one?
What's going on here? What is this ploy?
Who won the SEC? After getting slandered last week from you two, just wondering, who locked down the SEC this weekend?
Okay.
I'm just wondering.
I understand.
Yep. There you go. That's it. That's all you need to. That's all we need to talk about.
Okay.
Right there. Dogs on top. Let's go, baby.
I understand. And you know what, Craig? Yeah, I think that's a good point. Okay.
Thank you.
It's a fair point.
That might be the first one this year, by the way.
And we do need to show love to the dogs as always. And it's not that we did not slander them. First of all,
There was some slander. It took a little offense. I felt like you told them to go get their shine box. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying.
we just pointed out their vulnerable spots. That's all that was. Okay. Speaking of, they were not vulnerable at all this weekend.
No.
As I'm checking, Casey's back, and he's not frozen, and he's
Uh-huh.
dancing. That does not give you license to sing, Craig. Let's go with the scores.
Dancing queen, young and free, only 17.
Mississippi State takes 2 from Auburn. Arkansas wins 2 out of 3 against Oklahoma. Alabama sweeps India. Georgia sweeps at home against LSU. Here's one, ladies and gents. Tennessee. I did a double take. I went back and clicked on the page again. 2 of 3 from Texas.
Hey, Rob, quick question.
Yes.
Are you from Knoxville?
I'm not.
Oh, because you're the only 10 I see.
Oh my gosh. Ole Miss takes 2 of 3 from A&M. Florida 2 of 3 from Kentucky, and Missouri takes 2 of 3 from Vanderbilt. Boys, what sticks out here in terms of Craig while you were gone, Casey, Craig gloated that we allegedly slandered Georgia last week, and they locked up the SEC.
There was some disrespect. You disrespected them a little bit.
I don't see it that way at all. I said we merely pointed out some vulnerable spots for them.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think since I've mentioned that my opinion of the favorite, I can't speak tonight. I'm worse than Craig here. Of the SEC is Texas A&M. I feel like I gave him the Casey from the MBG show curse. So with that being said, Georgia is by far the best team in the conference, and hopefully it curses them.
Is that what we're going with now?
That's so mean. That is so mean.
41-11.
We could call in Joy and ask her after she was in Athens to watch.
Listen, Joy is as much of a Dogs fan as she is an LSU fan. It just depends on where she's at. Is she in Georgia or is she in Louisiana?
To her credit, she had on all the LSU gear in Athens this weekend. So I think that throws it at that ends the discussion.
That would be the opposite of the MPG jinx right there.
I think Vanderbilt is done.
Can we talk about this lost ball in the mist?
Oh my god!
Can we get a word? Can we bring in? If only we had an umpire.
Exactly. Thank you, Casey. Please speak on it. Did you read the article, Craig?
I did.
Okay. Thank you. Take it away.
So, Friday night, there was a ball hit into the ether of fog, and we don't know if it was a home run or a ground rule double. At what point does an umpire have the ability to say, this is no longer safe, we shouldn't play because I can't see my damn hand in front of my face, Mr. Sluggo?
I think it should have been called about probably an inning sooner when you do lose. When a hitter's having trouble and a pitcher's having trouble and an umpire's having trouble to see the pitcher, you got to at least halt that game. I don't know. I would have been gone with my feet up and a beer in my wallet. What?
Right, but like, how do we not know? Was the ball in the stadium? Was it outside the stadium? We don't need video even for that, right? Doesn't that just tell us whether it's a home run or not? We don't need the stat tracks to tell us what the launch angle was and how far it went. Like that's
you do, because sometimes there's batter's eyes behind center field,
so it may hit and come back.
Field if it hits and comes back. So if the what do they call that? The stat tracker,
stat tracks, yeah.
If they show that launch angle is like,
we're talking about TrackMan right now. Is that what we're trying
TrackMan, thank you. And,
Isn't TrackMan the golf one?
And it was hit 408 feet. Like, you can do the math, but that game should not have been at that point. I don't believe.
You ever hit a ball 408 feet?
No,
neither did I.
No,
thought about it.
Maybe a softball. Maybe. My friends used to say I've never met someone that can hit a softball further than they can hit a golf ball.
Back in college, we played co-ed softball at the university's softball field. I had a pop-up one time, and that bad boy ended up going out for a home run.
Well, that's 200. That's 200.
Joy, that
Look
is
at there.
so old news. I have lost my mind so long ago.
Look who's
By the
here.
way, I hope you're doing well, and
Look,
can't wait to have you back on.
Headshot.
I know it's so professional,
so
isn't it? Look, she's
professional.
excited that you're here too. Look at that.
Ah, that's my girl. That's why team right side.
Team right side. There you go.
Okay. Let's get into it here. Casey, we talked baseball a little bit. You mentioned softball. We would be absolutely wrong if we didn't talk about this. And I'm so upset to turn the page because if he doesn't know, I'm about to tee him up again. So
no. Hang on. So Friday night, Big Bad Oklahoma, who's also gotten plenty of love here.
What did
in
I just say?
softball.
What did I just say?
He won't
Plenty
let
of
you tee him up.
Plenty of love. We're up on the Dogs in Lexington. Rob, take it away and tell us how the Dogs came up.
Oklahoma played Georgia in Lexington?
Yes, that was where the SEC softball tournament was, Casey. I did my homework.
I don't pay attention.
Okay, so let me run down it in a reasonable manner and start with Texas, who won the SEC tournament over Alabama.
We'll get there. We've got time.
The semifinals. So the last four teams remaining in the tournament were made up of pretty much all chalk, except for Georgia, who knocked off Oklahoma to get to the semifinal. Okay, the 9 seed beat the 1 seed to get there. Then you had 2, 3, 4 in the semifinal. Pretty much chalk. Outside of that number, the 14 seed Auburn made a little bit of a run early on. I would point out here as well, keep in mind, Texas won their first national championship last year against Texas Tech. And the biggest win for me this weekend on the softball diamond is we crowned a champion, which we were not able to do last year due to weather in Athens, where Oklahoma and Texas A&M had to split the championship as that game was not able to be played in inclement weather. So Texas wins it, and they're hot headed into the NCAA tournament. But, this is one of those things. Nobody's counting Oklahoma out of this thing, right? Like now it's time to make a run.
No, they're vulnerable. The Dogs beat them. I
knows what she's doing. You probably just got your one loss for the month out for them. So that's toast. And that's actually bad news for everybody else, in my opinion. Oklahoma lost the softball game. That kind of checked a box for 6 weeks. It's not capable of happening again for quite some time.
And which school beat them?
That's in now. They're chalk. They're going to win it.
Which school beat them? No afraid of being biased on this show. I've got Texas all night tonight, and I've also got Georgia. So here's the interesting stat with Texas winning.
And help me.
No, you are on your own.
We're talking Texas, and I love Amanda. She's gonna be fantastic, and I hope that she has a chance to talk because Craig is gonna be talking about Arch.
I'm gonna tee her up, and she can go on and on about Arch and Boom and how that's gonna go. I can't wait till we get to grab your freezing cold takes. The predictions are ready. Shout out to Kyle Umlong. I don't know if that's right, pronounced right, but I think it is Umlong. So Texas has been in the league for 2 years since joining the SEC in 2024. Rob, I know you're always preaching patience and it always takes time.
Just gave you a shout out for that on Late Night Gamecock, by the way, that our differing dynamic. Please continue.
Go ahead. Yeah, I know it's just patience and time. Texas has 14 SEC championships in the last 2 years. The next 3, Florida, Kansas, and Oklahoma, have 6. Your Gamecocks have 5. My Dogs have 4. Only the Fighting Maggie Johnsons are without an SEC championship in those 2 years. They need time. They need patience, Rob. So go ahead and talk to Maggie and say, hey, listen, Missouri, it just takes time. You've been in the SEC for 14 years. Maybe we can win the SEC at some point.
I mean, I don't. Does anybody see Missouri being serious about winning the SEC in baseball?
No, I think it's more impressive that Texas. The SEC was nitrous, exactly what Texas needed. They were bored in the Big 12, and CDC and everything just totally launched in an overdrive.
Well, they couldn't win in the Big 12, so they had to come down to the SEC and just win all those conference championships.
That's another narrative. That's Andrew McCleary's story. That's not our story. We're SEC Sunday night. We're not Big 12 Sunday night, Casey. I am towing the company line, even with I have my Michigan.
And I joke.
Okay, there's a lot to get to, so let's jump on in. This is going to spark a debate on multiple fronts tonight, Casey. I've only got 3 boards for you, but they're all debate worthy. It is time for It Just Means More Genius in partnership with our boy MBG and the Message Board Genius podcast. Take it away, award-winning tones, Casey Cregan.
All right. MBG says SEC Tears from Berg Tiger. I believe this is from SEC Rant. It says the Big Six: Bama, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas A&M. The Mid Six: Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Mizzou, South Carolina. The Flailing Four: Vandy, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Arkansas. What say you, boys? Is this a good list?
Can we assume this is a football list? Can we start there?
I'm assuming it's a football list. It's
has
a
to be
list.
because Mississippi State is not in the bottom of any baseball list.
This is I just meant is it a program athletic department list or is it a football list? I wasn't thinking it was any other singular sport.
Oh, you might have
Ooh.
a point.
But could it be an athletic department list?
He threw the curveball. Mr. Snappy came in there. I was not ready for that one.
Let's call it a football list.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
In the meantime, call MBG. See what he thinks it is.
I'll text him.
I think it's fair. I like the fact that it went to 3. I know that we've kind of gone 4. We've looked at a couple of numbers there. Anyone ranked too high here, Robert?
Yeah, A&M.
Is LSU getting love just because of Lane?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
They wouldn't have been in the Big Six last season, I don't think.
Right. Well, here's another question: is this a current list, or is this like a turn of the century list?
There's a lot of questions MBG gave us.
This was posted May 8th, 2026 at 7:36 p.m.
Yeah, but
is it Eastern? Is it Central? We don't know.
But you know what I mean? Like, if this is let's call it turn of the century list.
Yep.
Then LSU definitely deserves to be there.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no doubt about it. Is it a 2025 list? Is it a 2026 projection list? I don't know. Like, there's so much
Jimbo Fisher.
So much up in the air here.
He won a national championship, I thought.
That's funny.
He got like a trophy, didn't he?
Not there, he didn't.
No, they gave him like a placeholder or something like that.
I think A&M's too high.
I think
that's really the one that sticks out. I can make the argument for Oklahoma, but I think A&M's too high. And then if you
why are they put in the order? Like, I was trying to think, like, are they alphabetical or not alphabetical? Like, is this like truly the rankings?
It's just some dude taking a dump.
It's a
Missouri. Put this together and posted it on a message board. That's what this is. I mean, if we're being honest.
I apologize for the mic crack for everybody listening on podcast. That one caught me off guard. I don't think that I think it's probably this guy's rankings. I don't think there was that much thought. I think you're right, Casey, that it just kind of went into it's just in somebody's head. And
does Missouri call Mississippi State state?
They're just
does anyone call Mississippi State state?
We're analyzing it too much.
I'm moving on.
We're analyzing it too
State.
much.
Stark Vegas.
I'm moving on. Anybody too low, really quick before we
Kentucky. Even don't disregard my record prediction.
You can't do that.
I'm gonna flip Kentucky and South Carolina and be all set.
You cannot do that. You cannot pick them where you pick them.
Listen, I have editing rights on the Google sheet. I can make any edits that I need to.
I hope you do, and I hope that that record is in there. That schedule's in there. You're the man. Okay. Let's move on.
All right. Sorry, Rob. MBG says nobody ever said that a message board can't also be a dating app. From the Big Spur, we have Gamecock RX Man, Prescription Man. Anyway, he says, off topic. How many Gamecock women use this board? Preferably middle-aged single women that would like to attend a few games.
I think this is funny.
Shoot your shot.
I will also note this is the Gamecock Central and the Big Spur now merged site, which you can get for only $1. $1, right? Not $1 a month, $1 all the way until fall camp. Just $1. So go ahead and jump on that one. No. I think Instagram's the greatest dating app on the planet, and that's not what it was created for. So why not use a message board?
I have no. What are you? I've been out of the game for so long. I have no idea how Instagram would be a dating app.
It's 100% the number one dating app. Somebody help me out. Joy, where are you? It's definitely the number one. I think it's the number one dating app. Instagram.
Is that maybe the appeal next week? Maybe we talk to JB and JC and be like, hey, guys, feeling lonely? Need to find a partner for the football season. Come down to the Big Spur. The ladies are waiting.
These are like my favorite type of posts. You know, if
Fantastic.
like somebody's got something major medical, what do? Do you go to a doctor or go to the Big Spur first and find out? And I'm just using the Big Spur. It could be anybody. If you have dating advice, obviously it's right here for you.
Did we get any comments to this one?
You need travel advice.
Question,
Go to the message boards. I didn't check them either, and I should have.
That's good. Like, you never know.
All right.
Listen, you only got a full one, right?
But you might get catfished on that.
I got one more because we have a topic. We have a topic after the segment that we're keeping Casey for, right?
I'm keeping Casey all night. I thought till
all right. Here we go.
Midnight.
Here we go.
All right. MBG says MBG's 2026 hot seat list. Whose seat is the hottest? Hashtag fire everybody. 10 coaches most likely to be fired. You're going to test me here. I got Mike Norvell. I got Shane Beamer. I got that Baylor coach, Dave Aranda. I got Bill, what's his name, with the
O'Brien.
dimple in his chin. Bill O'Brien. I got Lincoln Riley, Deion Sanders, Bill Belichick, the guy from Cincinnati.
Luke Fickle,
but he's at Wisconsin now.
Same thing. It's right next to each other on the map. I got the Mississippi State head coach,
Jeff Levy.
And I got that other guy.
That's
Mike Loxley.
Is that Maryland? Yeah.
I'm going with Mike Norvell.
That is such an easy one.
My thing is, how does Dave Aranda still have a job? He took a Baylor program that was actually pretty decent, and they have not been relevant since he's been there. And
have you followed the news of how dysfunctional Baylor athletics program is? Like Chip and Joanna couldn't fix that fixer-upper.
And that's why he still has a job.
110%. Like there is so much other stuff going on at Baylor that Dave just keeps on. Listen,
kids are graduating. They're staying out of trouble, so that's a win for him. Is that what it is?
I think it is. I think Norvell's the easiest slam dunk.
All right, we gotta go to break. So give me another one since you think that was an easy choice.
I don't think so. I don't think South Carolina's going to fire Shane Beamer. And I don't think Mississippi State's going to fire Jeff Levy either, regardless of record.
You got $1 on Beamer?
No, absolutely not. I'll put that one to bed. That's not happening.
All right, I got $1. Get cut on the phone.
That's fine. All right. It is 8:23 on SEC Sunday night. When we come back, Craig, Casey, myself, talking some hypotheticals about the 2 years past and an expanded playoff. This is SEC Sunday night on the Chiefs Sports Network.
At TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, we believe true health and peak performance start with personalized care. Whether you're an athlete recovering from injury or just chasing your next personal best, we're here to guide your journey. With expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and transparent cash-based pricing, you get the care you need without the insurance red tape. One client drove 100 miles just to see us and said it was worth every mile. Contact us at trifitperformance.com or 803-353-5619. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Diamaduros Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawsc.com. hdlawsc.com. Hewitt Diamaduros, we're on your team. This is SEC Sunday Night on the Chiefs Sports Network.
Welcome back to SEC Sunday Night Live on the Chief Sports Network and proudly presented by Hewitt Domaduros Law. We are back. Rob Williams, Craig McMichael, joined by Casey Cregan of the Message Board Genius podcast. Craig, a cancellation on the schedule this week, the upcoming schedule. Tell us about it, and we'll look forward, and then we'll look back.
So I know I'm from Detroit, but one of my favorite sayings is bless your heart, because we all know what we're really saying when we say bless your heart. You're calling someone, well, I won't say it because I want to keep it PG and I'm not Vern Funquist. So this week, Georgia and Florida State made the brilliant decision to cancel their home-and-home series. I believe it was 2027, 2028. Georgia's already canceled 2 home-and-home series with UCLA and with Louisville. And it sucks. And it's terrible. And I'm saying shame on Josh Brooks and shame on Kirby Smart, because it's pathetic. I don't want to play Directional State University, and I don't want to play Florida State. I don't want to go to Tampa Bay. I don't want to go to Mercedes-Benz. I don't want to go to Nashville. I don't want to go to Charlotte. I want home games, and I want good home games. I don't want FCS games. I don't want these other games, and it's just sad. You know, we've been going through the SEC. We've been making these predictions, and we're having this big question every week. What is the 9+1 going to do to the SEC? Is it going to hurt their CFB chances? Well, it's hurting our chances as college football fans because it's giving us an inferior product. We're not having it. You know, one of the things that I'm looking forward to in the next few years, Georgia's supposed to play Ohio State. They've got little old Clemson on their schedule like for 4 years. Casey, what do you think the over-under is? Maybe 1.5? Do you think they actually play at home and home? Or do you think that gets canceled? I think that probably gets canceled too.
It's kind of funny, like thinking about when I was in school, that's one of the last times that Clemson and Georgia will play a game home and home.
Yeah.
And that was like late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, that's just something. I know they've played, but they've played in Atlanta. Well, they did a home and home, I guess, like in 07, 08, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they played somewhat recently. Well, but like that's a great rivalry, right?
I think here's the flex point.
Couple hours apart from each other.
Closer to Athens than Columbia. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
No, the flex point is obviously these are getting canceled because of the implication for the playoff.
100%.
However, the current conversation is that the playoff is not only going to expand, but there's a decent chance we're going to see it expand to 24. So we have a little something here for you.
Bless their hearts.
In 2024, this would have been the college football playoff if it was a 24-team field.
Why?
See this?
Why do we need it?
I
No,
like
we don't.
those matchups, though, guys.
That it doesn't do well for those of us who want to sit here and say, "Oh no, not 24. It's too many."
It
I
really
like 16. I think 16. I think 16 is great, and I think 16 should be the cap. But I have to agree, the matchups are pretty good.
They're pretty fun. I wouldn't even say that. I mean, you're going to get some blowouts, but that first round looks really pretty fun with some of those games.
Looks like a bunch of bowl games I would watch.
Right?
But now they mean something, Craig. So now they mean something?
Do these mean more than the conference championship games that they're replacing? The game in Atlanta that you've told me so much that means so much? Does it matter more?
I think eventually they do. For reference, again, here's the 2025 for anybody who wants to see a matchup here. Missouri and Vandy again?
The Mean Green.
Or is that a Michigan M? I can't tell.
That's a Michigan. You're gonna get yelled at.
Listen, that's
Houston,
I
Miami.
got to fire a shot.
You do. I mean, these are like they're nice games, but like
I love them.
I
love them. I mean,
right,
you have
look.
some conference on conference though, like Utah and Arizona, aren't
Greg,
they?
did
in the
this
same
backfire on you having me put this graphic in here? Is that what just happened? Because now we're actually somehow we started advocating for a 2014 playoff because we like the matchups.
At what point have I advocated for a 2014 playoff?
No,
I
Craig,
said I don't want to see
Casey
either
and I
one.
are.
Great, good for you.
I don't know if I want to see it, but if you put that graphic in front of my face, it's fun.
Exactly.
Courtney said the other day on our show that the season's not going to end till till Valentine's Day at this rate. So
Can we back it up? We got to back it up, right?
you
gotta
You
back
start
it
August
up.
1st?
You have to.
Not August 1st. Get out of here.
Yeah, but you have to back it up.
You have to back it up, and I think you also have. To your point, there's a good chance we're losing conference championship games, and I think there's a week or two in there we can cut a fluff that we don't need, including the bye week.
You're cutting, so you're going to make them play 16 games in a row, 16 weeks in a row, 4 months straight of football?
No, you get 2 byes in the regular season.
Are you going to start losing rivalry games though?
Yep.
All right, we
Clean
can't.
old-fashioned hate.
All right, listen, I love this.
What's the cutoff when you get that you're going to get pissed with?
16.
Well, I already said
16,
that.
fine, but listen.
No,
listen,
I mean what games being cut, like rivalry games or like the conference championship games.
So I'm. But here's the thing, I'm already pissed off as my article in Last Word as I started out came out. I'm already pissed off because we're already losing these games. We're going to lose Clemson, Georgia for no other reason than we might not make the playoffs. Well, listen, if every Tom, Dick, and Harry is making the playoff now, then let's keep the games on the schedule. At least that'll be entertaining. Give us more of an entertaining product. Because here's the thing: what do ESPN and what do Fox want? They want huge ratings. Georgia and Tennessee Tech doesn't do that. Georgia and Clemson at 7:30, on ABC, that draws a nice big number.
Okay, you know what? You know who does draw numbers? Texas. And I'm not in the business of keeping people waiting. So Amanda Atwell is here with us to talk about Texas football. Casey, you sticking around or are you bouncing?
I'm bouncing because
say goodbye to everybody's favorite producer. The esteemed award-winning sultry tones here to tickle our ears every week is Casey.
Hey, I set the bar really low for Amanda, so she shouldn't be nervous.
All right, we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, take it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, no further ado here. Amanda Atwell with us on Texas Football Moving Goalpost podcast. Listen, Amanda, first of all, welcome to the show. And second of all, this is a very Texas-friendly space, so you don't have to worry about Lucci pushing back any of that A&M miss. Yeah, absolutely. How are you doing?
Good to know. I have to go. I have to go on offense most weeks on that show because I never know what's going to come out of that guy's mouth about something new every week, or it just kind of feels like he has amnesia sometimes to conversations we've already had, and I have to reiterate the point a little bit. But no, it's a lot of fun.
Well, here all we're going to have to do is I'm going to put reins on both of you because even though Craig covers the dogs, he's going to be off and running with the Texas love. And we're going to try to pull back a little bit so that the whole world doesn't set the expectation too high on Arch again. But before all of that, let's jump in first of all to personnel, because I think that's a good starting point for everybody. Obviously, Cam Coleman, Hollywood Smothers kind of highlight the newcomers, but just kind of talk about names that we need to know that you think are here on this Texas roster. For an SEC fan, I think, one, it's still a little bit new to be talking about Texas on an SEC show, especially from a football standpoint. And two, there are so many stars on this team that some of them can get buried by some of the bigger names that are on this group. And not to mention that defense is going to get a little bit of a revamp as well. So you tell us who it is that really makes the difference for the Horns this year.
I think the biggest thing is just the continuity you have compared to last year. As far as you want to look at what made Arch Manning struggle a lot last year, it's the offensive line. It's what you hear. It's what you see immediately when you go back and watch that Florida game, when you watch the Kentucky game. I mean, obviously Arch had some of his own growing pains as well, but a lot of it can be contributed to the fact that he had a very inexperienced offensive line in front of him. This year, you return, I think he returns 4 on the offensive line this year. And those are names you don't hear, and those are names you don't want to hear. You don't want to know those guys are there. When you know they're there, there's something going wrong. When we knew something was going very wrong last year. So I think that's one of the biggest things. As far as other personnel goes and skill pieces, you have so much to work with. Like, it's just kind of like everybody, Sark said in a press conference a couple of weeks ago, I feel like people are forgetting Ryan Wingo exists. Ryan Wingo had his issues last year. He had some drop passes, but he was also almost 1,000-yard receiver with those drop passes. Now you combine that with Cam Coleman, you have 2 really, really great options. And then you forget you also have Emmett Mosley. And you also have Khalil Lockett, who had a really Michigan game. You have Dalen McCutcheon, who was also contributing as a wide receiver last year. So, and then combined with the running back room, you mentioned Hollywood Smothers, just kind of a rebuild there as far as who we have in the running back room. Raleek Brown, that's one of the areas that Texas really, really struggling. If you haven't watched a lot of Texas football isn't really used to not having much of a run game. That used to be more of a bread and butter of the Texas offense, was they could at least push. I mean, there's a guy in Georgia you can probably, that a lot of Atlanta Falcon fans are very thankful for, that a lot of Texas fans are really missing on their roster. That's more of what Texas fans are used to. So getting back to the run game and having it to where Arch Manning isn't one of your top running backs on the field, I think will be very, very critical for the offense going forward.
And you know, like, you watch Arch. So again, I cover the Dogs, but as Rob knows, I'm one of the biggest Texas and Arch fans out there. So I was calling that. Yeah, no worries at all. You're not going to have any.
Most of the time I'm fending off the Arch fraud takes.
Yeah, well, that's the other guy next to you. It's not this guy at all. Don't worry about it.
I made no such accusations.
Yeah. But you know, like, that's the thing that I think is impressive. If we're going to stay on like the offensive side of the ball, you look at where Arch grew throughout the year, and I think you look at the Cheez-It Bowl especially. I mean, Michigan was a hot mess. You know, I mean, who knows what the hell was going on with that team?
I mean, Texas didn't have like half of their defense that game. There were so many players that opted out for Tech game that I don't think people realize that most of that defense had not seen much of the field during the regular season. So it was a shell of both teams. Texas at least returned a little bit more than Michigan did, especially after all the other things Michigan went through.
Right. But you know, you look at the second half and like, well, what Arch did, it's kind of similar to kind of what he did for the season, right? Like, yes, he struggled a little bit. He had the growing pains, but he got better and better, and we started to see the confidence. We started to see the mix. And I love the fact of what Sark does, right? You got a guy like Livingston who was the wide receiver. Now he's at Oklahoma. Like, basically said, hey, there's not a spot for you here. We need those NIL dollars maybe somewhere else. Maybe there was something else, but you know, whatever that was, you see the bar continuing to raise. The biggest surprise that I saw coming in the offseason, and this is what I want to hear from you, is the change of defensive coordinator. You bring in Boom Muschamp, Rob and I, favorite guys. I mean, he was a big reason why Georgia won back-to-back national championships. But like, was that something that you had heard that you thought was brewing? Because to me, that was a thing that came a bit out of left field, and I think that could be that missing ingredient for 2026 that we're missing in 2025.
It's funny you say that you think it might be the missing ingredient, because when I hear it from the A&M side, they're like, oh, well, this Texas isn't going to be as good defensively this year because they're replacing it PK with a coordinator who hasn't called plays in years. That is something definitely came out of left field for, I think, most Texas fans, because I think most Texas fans would have been fine with PK moving forward. He last year was a little bit not quite the performance we're used to seeing from the Texas defense. I mean, you compare it to 2024, Texas was not a high-scoring offense, yet they rolled through to the SEC championship. And because of the defense, they leaned on that defense. And the secondary had some breakdowns last year. Like, you saw one at the end of the Vanderbilt game that kind of made it a much more stressful game than it needed to be. The Florida game can be attributed, some of that defensive breakdown. A lot of people like to point the finger at Arch, but there's no reason why he's just having to constantly get back on the field. And for a team that their bread and butter used to be defense. My opinion there is I feel like you have to trust Sark knows what he is doing defensively because he hasn't really proven otherwise. I mean, you're not going to get rid of something great to replace it with something that isn't there as well. And I think Muschamp has enough history under his belt where I think he'll be able to get back to it, the play calling aspect of things. And another thing is just like, I like to hear from the players. I used to play college soccer, so I feel like you can get a lot of how a team is feeling based on the players, and the players seem to be really taking well to Muschamp and really enjoying his system. So that, like, Colin Simmons was one who is really, really loving Muschamp's system. So that makes me feel good about it. I'm pleasantly optimistic about it. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
First of all, let me just say you have fans in the chat box over here, as Joy has been very active tonight. Second of all, when we look at she's pretty much a favorite around here too. She had a regular segment with us in season. So when you look at the defensive side of the ball, you mentioned Colin Simmons. How do you see this personnel fitting with a guy like Muschamp? Do you expect scheme changes? Because we kind of, even though he hasn't called plays in a while, we do have a track record of understanding what he's going to do. It is Saban-esque. There's a lot to do at the safety position. You're going to need a guy that's very technical and kind of a football junkie that's going to be able to direct things a little bit and know how to read it from back there. Do you see any shifts or changes in terms of who sticks out that works really well in this system that might not have before, or do you feel like it's kind of status quo?
I think what you can see as far as the changes that were made or some stuff that, like in the transfer portal players that you wouldn't think Texas would have let go of in the transfer portal, and players were added in, and that's kind of where you're going to see the players that were added in. Like Leon Lafau was one that was let go that you kind of confused of why would we let him go. But I mean, in who they retain, I don't know if that makes sense, but just kind of with the transfer portal of just like that kind of attrition of players that Texas isn't really used to. Because if you look at the transfer portal last year for Texas, I think Texas added 11 players from the transfer portal last year, and this year 20 plus. So I think some of that has to do with just kind of getting players in that will fit this scheme for Muschamp a little bit more, and Muschamp's name in this is also helps adding those players. Texas approached the transfer portal a whole lot differently. I don't think Muschamp is going to change the things that work at Texas, have been working at Texas, but the things that weren't working last year, playing pretty far off the ball in the secondary, just leaving players too far open, and just kind of, I don't know, it got to the point where I just felt like they kind of, like the Vanderbilt game you watched, and it's like, okay, we're winning by this many points. The defense kind of relaxed. I don't think you're going to see that with a Muschamp defense at all. And I think that's something that this is SEC football. You can't relax for a second, or Diego Pavia is going to run it down your throat. So I think that's just one difference you'll see with Muschamp.
So I like that you bring up that point. We were talking.
Sorry,
about...
you're not allowed to answer. Joy's directing the show tonight, and she says that Amanda is the queen, but we're not asking you any more questions. So I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Fair. So we were talking a little bit earlier. We were congratulating the softball on a Texas softball team on winning the SEC championship, and it has been interesting. I made the argument that the SEC was nitrous fuel for Texas. I'm not going to say that they were stagnant in football in the Big 12. I think Sark has done a really good job. I think the alignment, being an athletic director myself, CDC is like one of my favorite people. And like, I like to look at what he does. Rob knows I've gone on many soliloquy about him, but what have you seen in the last 2 years of having that Texas energy and the SEC energy come together, where, Texas as an entire athletic program has now won more SEC championships, 14, than like the next two or three teams combined?
I don't know if you are familiar with my habit of like going back for bookmarks for things, but when it was announced that Texas was joining the SEC, I went like one of the threads from one of the ESPN people, I went under it and I just bookmarked a bunch of things about how Texas was just going to get murdered in the SEC and everything, across everything, because I knew that wouldn't be I went to Texas. I knew that wouldn't be the case. Even at the time when Texas was pretty dismal back in 2021 at football, that has never been the case for other athletics. I mean, look at the swimming and diving program. I don't even know how many national championships they've won at this point. But Texas has always pretty much been an everything school. In the 2010s, it was an everything but football school for a period of time, which was unfortunate because that's when I went to Texas. But yeah, I think people are kind of realizing that there's a reason outside of football Texas fans are so proud to have gone to Texas, because it just kind of feels like everything matters. And with CDC, I went to Texas when Charlie Strong was the head football coach, and CDC, I can't remember who our athletic director was at the time, but CDC came in after. CDC completely turned around the entire environment of Texas football. Tailgating sucked when I was in college. The student section sucked when I was in college. It was empty. It was apathetic. The tailgating was sporadic all over campus. So it's just every single area he's touched, he's made it better. He's made it more cohesive. That's just what it feels like. It feels like it's more cohesive of the tailgating is actually around the stadium now. Students are more encouraged to go to games. Having a better football team also a way to go with that. So it's just, I'm happy it's happened in the way it has, and I'm happy football has kind of come in line with that. And I think also CDC isn't afraid to evolve with the sport as well and give his coaches the tools they need to evolve with the sport. You can look at a school like OSU as an example. Mike Gundy refused to evolve with the sport, refused to evolve with NIL, and look at where they are now. His reputation as a coach kind of tarnished because of how badly it ended. CDC doesn't do that. He gives he's not like the heart of NIL is ruining the sport. Okay, I don't care if it's ruining the sport. You have to play the game, and if you want to win. And CDC plays the game, and he plays it like he wants to win, and he gives his coaches the tools that they need to succeed, which I think you're seeing reflective of the field. Now, whether or not Texas has won 9-3 season, and if you want to see that as a failure, then I'll take 9-3 as a failure over a 5-7 season losing to Kansas personally.
Absolutely. If I could have like the little clapping emoji coming up like on Zoom, I would definitely have had it. Rob knows that so well.
I think it's a great point, honestly, in terms of evolving with the sport. I said this on a show an hour ago. I'll echo it here. Not a fan of the expansion of the NCAA basketball tournament to 76 teams. I'm not. I'm not in. We just said it here. I'm not in favor of 24 college football playoff teams. I think it should be capped to 16. However, if we can expect anything, it's change. We have just lived through the most change in a decade that college sports has ever seen, and I don't see the train slowing down. So for us, we can state our opinions and say, here are the pitfalls of where this thing could go off the rails or whatever, but we kind of have to continue to roll with the punches, and I think CDC from his position has done that, and we do well to do that ourselves. Speaking of expectations, Amanda, when you look at Texas in 2026, there's already a lot of fanfare, a lot of preseason hype, and so on and so forth. But if you zoom out and just look at it from a Texas perspective, not an athletic director, not just a fan, but just like a general Texas perspective, what is the minimum number of wins that is considered a success in 2026?
We're talking regular season or postseason?
Yeah, we'll just go regular season to start off with, and then you can kind of tell us how deep of a run it needs to be. Because I'm going to venture a guess that you think getting into the postseason is definitely an expectation.
I think that's a minimum expectation at this point. I mean, one of the issues is as well, just go take a look at Texas's schedule next year and tell me how easy that looks.
We're about to, right after you're done.
People can talk about how easy year one was, or some people think last year was easy, even though Texas ended up playing how many top 10 teams during their regular season. Next year is quite a gauntlet, but I think my opinion is 10-win minimum regular season. And obviously at that, you should make a college football playoff. You might make an SEC championship if it still exists at that point, who knows? But I think 10 win with you just kind of you went all in on this transfer portal more so than you have Sark has his entire career at Texas. Spends, I mean, everybody, I hate using the money term because everybody spends so much money these days. So we're comparing 50 million to 55 million at this point. It's just, but I mean, you go all in, you get Cam Coleman, you get all these tools for Arch, and Arch finally has like all the tools around him that should work. You feel like you've addressed the needs on the O-line. So I feel like 10 win is kind of my minimum of success. And then as far as running the postseason, you need to at least win 1-2. That's kind of my minimum. I think Texas fans will be disappointed if you only win one. I think you need to at least go as far as you did in 2024 for it to be considered kind of back on track success. A lot of Texas fans will say national championship or bust, which I'm fine with that, but I'm just trying to be a little bit more realistic because it's really difficult to win national championships.
As someone who covers Georgia, do you have any advice of how to win a quarterfinal game?
I mean, I need advice on how to make a playoff at the third year straight right now.
I know.
You know, here's
Do you have any advice on how to beat Georgia? Should I say that?
If you have a big A on your helmet, you've got a
say,
pretty good chance. You've got a pretty good
We
chance.
should just release Bevo onto the field next time instead of on.
Leave Uga alone. Leave the big old Bevo trying to kill little Uga.
look.
That was hysterical.
I think in terms of the expectations, the schedule is hard for us to predict, Amanda. And every week after we have a guest on, Craig and I end the show by running through the schedule and predicting the games. You said this. You said it about you said there's a gauntlet this year, but then you made the comment about last year where people would have said, "Oh, it's going to be easy." But then look at how many top teams they ended up playing.
Yeah, nobody predicted OU to be a playoff team last year.
Exactly.
I mean,
They were
OU's
not
gone back and forth.
They were not a playoff team. Like,
They were not a
should
bowl
have been
team on here.
Yeah. They've gone back and forth 6-7, 10-3, 6-7, 10-3. I mean,
Well-
if you want to put money on it, I guess 6-7 next year with how Venables has been playing it since his start at OU.
Well, we covered them last week, and we both picked them 8-4. Just for the record, if you want to bookmark
take
that
that.
one, there it was.
No,
Hey,
I'm
look,
fine with that.
I mean, we're flying blind. I mean, I'm not trying to pull out the rug out from under our prediction segment. We do it every week. But these schedules are totally unpredictable at this point because we don't know who anybody is. We look at schedules from last year, and you thought teams like South Carolina, like LSU,
Florida.
like Florida would have been stronger, and it didn't turn out that way, right? So you
Florida
thought
was strong for one game last year. That's all I gotta say.
that didn't help. That didn't help.
They were
your
good
case.
for one. They were good for one game the year before that too. Ask our friends in Oxford.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've gathered the information that we need here to do just that, to try to predict this Texas schedule. I got to be honest, I'm a little scared.
I'm scared. I'm scared every year. That's why, I mean, before Texas entered the SEC, I would go on a podcast like in the preseason every year, and I predict the record correctly, like 3 years straight, like starting at I predicted 8-4. I predicted whatever were after that 3 years straight. I refused to predict it last year, and look where we ended up.
No, you need this. So that means to tell me you have to predict it, because then if Amanda says it, it'll come true.
New
We'll
segment
see.
coming next week. Amanda says. All right. Listen, it was great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. We're
Thank you
going to
very
try
much.
to predict this thing. I'm really scared we're going to go 12-0, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to give them that kiss of death, but we'll see what we can make happen.
All right. Thanks so
Thanks
much.
again for being on here, Amanda Atwell, with us on SEC Sunday Night.
Bye.
All right, Craig, we're going to hit one more break here, and we're going to come back and predict this schedule. Hope you got it ready because we've been pretty high on the horns. This is SEC Sunday Night. We'll be right back.
When playing sports, you want a coach that will fight for you. At Hewitt Diamaduros Law Firm, we've got your back. Whether it's personal injury, insurance disputes, negligence, or wrongful death, our team delivers exceptional legal services that makes meaningful difference in the lives of the individuals and families we work for. Visit hdlawsc.com. hdlawsc.com. Hewitt Diamaduros, we're on your team.
Oh man, the building is on fire.
Emergencies and accidents happen. When you're in the middle of a fire or water event, all you want is for things to return to normal as soon as possible. Resto Pros of the Midlands is with you, guiding you through the process and working with you to get your home or office back in working order. They'll answer your questions, discuss procedures, and can act as your advocate when it comes to processing your insurance claim. Resto Pros Midlands SC.com. Open 24/7 when you need them. Quality that is guaranteed.
At TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, we believe true health and peak performance start with personalized care. Whether you're an athlete recovering from injury or just chasing your next personal best, we're here to guide your journey. With expert coaching, hands-on therapy, and transparent cash-based pricing, you get the care you need without the insurance red tape. One client drove 100 miles just to see us and said it was worth every mile. Contact us at trifitperformance.com or 803-353-5619. TriFit Physical Therapy and Performance, where recovery meets results.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go.
This is SEC, Sunday night on the Chiefs Sports Network.
Welcome back to SEC Sunday Night. Thanks again to Amanda Atwell for joining us to predict what's going on in the world of Texas football. Also, Casey Cregan for being with us as always to start the show. Craig, it's time for my favorite segment of the week. Every week,
I was wrong.
it's just I was wrong, baby. Hey, it's just me and you, and you know there's something nostalgic about just the two of us. Hey, see, now I get to sing too. See, like how we do that?
Yeah, but you can actually carry a tune.
Just us. New EP coming out next week. Make sure you guys check it out. So yeah, just us hanging out, talking ball, working our way through the schedule. This one is going to be fun. You know, obviously we've already predicted some of these games, right?
Yep.
But no shortage of blockbusters here. Okay.
We were wrong on these guys last year. We both had bigger than I think I had 12-0. I think you had like 11-1 last year.
Yep. I believe you are correct, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Texas State, we're going to give them a win. We're starting off that way. Is that fair?
The Fighting GJ Guns, whatever. Yeah. Texas wins.
Week 2.
OHIO. Fighting your crab trees.
Okay, well, here's the difference this year. This one's in Austin.
Yep.
This is tough for me, man. This is tough for me because as much as I want to pick Texas here, I don't want to have them start off too hot. However, you know what? In terms of hype with us.
Yep.
But I just keep looking at it and looking at it. And I'm not sure that I can get out of it because the talent, when I look at Ohio State, we come off of an NFL draft. So you have to fight against recency bias. So much first round talent. Much has been made about roster construction in Columbus. We know a lot of the pieces that they have. Obviously, a major weapon on the outside in Jeremiah Smith, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, an embarrassment of riches. But I can say the same thing about Texas.
Texas done a good job against Jeremiah Smith, too.
I can say the same thing. And here's the X factor for me, Craig. Going into the game last year, we were getting a fresh start from both quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't going to have a whole lot on either one of them. They're just kind of breaking it in. All the hype was there for Arch last year. He got it going late, but he kind of underperformed in relative to the hype, which is not his fault. It's the hype machine's fault. It's our fault. We're part of the machine.
I don't blame myself.
And even though I just said that we are the problem, It's me. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, look at that. I did 2 in one night.
Look
You're
at
rubbing
you.
off. You're rubbing
I'm rubbing
off.
off on you.
You're rubbing off. All right. No, I'm going to do it again. I think this is Arch Manning's year. And so I'm going to pick all of that to say I think they beat Ohio State week 2.
So I always think about when I look at these games, home field advantage.
It's big.
There's a home field advantage at, I think there was a home field advantage playing at 11 a.m. in Columbus. And I think there's going to be a home field advantage playing at 6:30 in Austin, Texas. It's going to be hot. It's going to be muggy. And Arch is going to kick the pants off of Ryan Day and the Buckeyes. Because I think Ryan Day is going to be tight for this one. I think a team, we've talked about this time and again, team will always follow their coach. I think Ryan Day coaches tight at times. When he is loose and having fun, the Buckeyes are good. I think he's going to be tight for this one. That gives the edge to the Horns.
Okie dokie. 2-0. Next week is UTSA. I'm going to go ahead and chalk that one up. Both of us as a win. Then they have to go to Knoxville. What do we get out of Tennessee? Made the big hire in the offseason, defensive coordinator. We've already picked this game though, Craig.
Mm-hmm.
And we're picking the Longhorns. Any argument from you?
Too much known talent.
Making any changes?
Nope. Too much known talent with Texas. I love that's a home game for Knoxville. That's probably gonna be a late one. That should be a raunchous crowd over there in Knoxville. The Vol Navy should be rocking. But again, Texas has too many known commodities, and I think Tennessee's still going to be trying to figure out the quarterback situation, and then still getting on the same page with that defense.
All right. Then they have a bye, and then Oklahoma, which we picked last week. I picked Oklahoma. I picked Texas. You also picked Texas?
I did.
Then we go to Florida. We've picked this one as well. We both think that the Horns win there as well. So it's getting dangerous for me, Craig.
It's not dangerous.
We're 6-0. We got 6-0.
We're 6-0, but like you look at Oklahoma, Mateer's back. What is Mateer's health? Because that as we said last week, as Mateer goes, Oklahoma will go. Florida, again, what's that quarterback situation going to look like? It's not going to be in the swamp. It's going to be at Texas. We saw that 2 years ago, and that was an ugly, ugly situation for Billy and the Gators. So, I know it's 6-0, but let the good times roll, baby.
All right, so we're going to pick up a little steam here. We got some big matchups and some low hanging fruit. We're going Ole Miss next in Austin. Trinidad Chambliss returns. Kewan Lacey returns. We have yet to pick the schedule of the Rebels. What say you, Mr. McMichael?
This is going to be one of those old-fashioned Big 12 shootouts. Last one with the ball is going to win. This could be 49-42, but I think Arch and the Horns come out on top for this one.
Yeah, I think this comes down to Muschamp for me. And that makes me lean in the same direction that you just said, because you're going to have to scheme against Trinidad Chambliss and Kewan Lacey in this matchup. Okay. You're going to have more experience out of Chambliss. Yes, he needs to build chemistry with his new OC, but at this point in the season, you expect that to be there if it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a lot about, can you game plan well? And that's why you go get Boone. So I'm going with the Horns again. Mississippi State, we've picked already. That is going to be a win for Texas. At Missouri, tricky trap game.
There's the one you circle. Like there's the one Texas loses in the Big 12.
Yeah,
because that's probably either an 11 a.m. kick.
Well,
is
not
that
just
11:45.
Not even just in the Big 12, Craig. I mean, Amanda just told us they lost that game to Florida last year, and by that point, Florida was not good.
Yeah. Are you saying Missouri's not good? Are you going on record?
No, I'm saying that Texas can drop one.
Yeah. No, that's fair. And Como's a tough place to play, especially if that is a later evening game. If that's that ESPN game, not maybe the ABC game.
I think you can spin it either way because it could be really sleepy, like you said, at 11.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, what's the matchup the next week? In Baton Rouge. So that one is definitely the trap. we both have them winning the game. Obviously, we picked it kind of objectively when we picked the Missouri schedule, not in light of what surrounds it on Texas's schedule, just looking at talent. So let's move on to LSU. This is the biggest matchup on the schedule for me, Craig, that makes me have some pause.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll spoil it and say, obviously, we already picked the LSU schedule. I did not change my pick, and I left this as a win for Texas. But if I see a loss anywhere on the schedule, it's in this 2-week stretch, Missouri and LSU. What's the mental game? And then playing most definitely at night in LSU in what could be a top 5 matchup if Lane has that crew rolling. Talk about the steam behind that crowd. It's a tough place to play, and it is a playoff preparation type of game. If it is a 1 loss or a 2 loss for either of these teams.
Yep. And I think that's the question. Lane has paused. I know Joy's going to say I'm just hating on LSU again, but I'm not. But, Lane was preaching patience. We talked about that a few weeks ago. And if we think about it, Lane needed a few years at Ole Miss before he could win big games like this, because he had a propensity to drop these very type of games. When the lights were the brightest, sometimes Ole Miss forgot to show up. And this is what I will be banking on and why I'm picking the Horns over LSU. You have an experienced Sarkisian beating his good buddy Lane in Tiger Stadium and probably, cementing that number 1 spot in the country.
All right, Arkansas we've already picked, and that's obviously a win for Texas. And then lastly, in College Station, Craig, this is another one of those games where we say it week after week after week. We have all these questions about Texas A&M, but this is the one week I'm not going to say it, because I think that you can kind of toss everything out. You can toss records out. You can toss rosters out. I think both of these teams, let me just say, we've talked about Texas a lot. I think Texas A&M is equipped and has enough talent to, at home in a rivalry game, make this highly competitive where it could be anybody's ball game. Mm-hmm. I'm not counting them out in that type of game. Now, we saw what happened last year. We saw how they fell apart late.
Mm-hmm.
But just like everybody else, and just like especially schools in Texas, they are, Amanda just pointed this out, right? They're spending $40 plus million on a roster. So Texas A&M is one of those teams that can go out and buy whoever they want. Your only real competition are the other teams that are right there around you. But, oh, by the way, this is a game you play against an in-state rival who has just as much dough as you do. So, it comes down to quarterback for me, and I'll take Arch Manning 11 out of 10 times over Marcel Reed.
And I'm still going to say Texas A&M still has a culture and a mental issue, right? Like, you look at last year, yes, they made the playoff. They had 1 loss on the year to Texas. They have lost to Texas both years. They have played, including 2 years ago in College Station. But you also look at that Gamecock loss, or I'm sorry, the Gamecock game last year where SC got up 31-3. I still think there is a mental.
South Carolina has had their number the past few years, matched up well with them on the line of scrimmage. The year before, Texas A&M came in undefeated, leading the SEC, and got whopped by South Carolina by 20 plus. So I don't know if that's a matchup thing with that one team specifically, or if it's more indicative, like you're saying, of the program at Texas A&M and kind of them sleepwalking at times, or flat out not having it.
Yeah, and it's just not being able to do anything against Miami in the playoffs too. So, like, obviously, I'm picking Texas here because they've just had that advantage. Until you can't be the man unless you beat the man. So, Texas A&M, if you want to be the man, go beat Texas.
I'm afraid we did it.
Look who's back.
I'm afraid we both
just
picked
back.
Texas to go 12-0. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting to really show our cards here as we are narrowing it down. Only a few teams left on this preseason spring roundtable. We've got another Texas school that we just talked about in there in Texas A&M. We've got Craig's Dogs. We've got the Tide. And, of course, an Ole Miss team that made the deepest run of all the SEC teams last year left on our schedule. This has been SEC Sunday Night again. Thank you to Casey Cregan. Thank you to Amanda Atwell. And thank you to you, my good friend Craig McMichael. We're here with you every week, everybody. 8 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. We'll see you next time.